Welcome to the Life and Business Podcast. I'm your host, Sue Bravo. On this podcast, we help you to live life well and do business better. Today's episode, we're going to be talking all about stepping into your entrepreneurial calling. We're going to take a look at what stepping into your calling actually means, what does it look like tangibly, and what characteristic traits are required of you. So what does it actually mean to step into your calling? I'm a simple person, so I give very simple definitions. The way I explain to clients is that this is what you feel you were meant to do. It's more a feeling than a thing. It's not whether you should be a missionary, a photographer, or a life coach. It's about how do you feel when you are doing these specific things? Do you feel like you're in your element? Do you feel like you're getting filled up when you are doing this specific thing? We all long for meaning and purpose. Is that what you are feeling when you are doing this specific thing? The last episode, we talked about deciding and really seeing if you feel like entrepreneurship in of itself is for you. And on this episode, we're going to walk you through how to actually step into this calling that you have decided is for you. And let's be clear, entrepreneurship is a calling. It's a calling to do life differently, to do business differently, to make an impact on the world, stewarding your specific gifts so that you can be on a bigger mission than just your own financial and lifestyle freedom. So here's how I help clients to begin to step into their calling. And the reason why I say begin is because actions that we take both in life and business will lead us into our ultimate calling. And if you remember on episode 1, I spoke about how I went from grazing tables to opening oysters to business coaching to life and business coaching. And so when I help clients begin to take action, they begin to take that step in that fog analogy, and things just become clearer and clearer, and their calling becomes more and more clear. So today we're going to look at 3 core things: your passion, proficiency, and profitability, so that it brings all of those pieces into impact. When you find the thing that really fills you up, where you get to steward your gifts while you're making money doing exactly what you love, that leads to the impact that you get to make around the world. And so what does that look like tangibly? I want to first talk about finding your passion, right? So this is a thing that you love to do that really fills you up. What you want to do first is really just take some time and spend a moment really thinking about what are the things that you actually love to do that do not feel like you are, that are draining your energy, but really filling you up and giving you more energy. That's going to be the passion piece. I recommend that you make a huge list, whatever comes up to your mind, and then you kind of want to pick your top 3. Like of all the things that you have listed, just pick the top few passions that you feel like are the ones that if you could only pick 3, those would be the ones that you picked. The second piece is proficiency. This is really about like what are the gifts that you are already really good at, naturally good at, or the skills that you have learned. And so from that list of all the things that you're passionate about, right, you're going to go into proficiency. Of the things that I'm passionate about, which ones am I also naturally gifted in, right? This is talking about stewarding your gifts. We don't want to just be able to do the things that we love, but we also want to be able to steward the gifts that we have given. Again, whether they're learned gifts and skills or you're just like really naturally good at these things. And then the third piece is profitability. You want to take a look at what do you actually want to make money doing. And profitability is number 3 on my list, but oftentimes the mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make is that they actually look at profitability first. They think of the question of like, is this thing going to make me lots of money? And so what often happens is that they join this company and they're making lots of money in it, but after a few months, maybe a year or 2, they get really burnt out because they're not passionate about this, right? They don't really actually love exactly what they're doing. And so it's hard to find motivation. It's hard to find inspiration to keep going on their entrepreneurial journey because they were just there to make money and there's no passion or proficiency involved in the impact that they're trying to make. And so remember that in order to make impact, you need to be passionate about what you're doing. You need to be proficient. And also with the proficiency piece, what I tell my clients all the time is that you don't need to be a level 100 expert. You just need to be one step ahead of the people that you're helping or even the people that you're selling the product to. And the example I like to give here is that I have not ridden a bicycle for like a decade, but I know how to ride a bike. And when my kids began to want to ride bikes, I didn't sit there and be like, well, I'm not Lance Armstrong, so I can't teach you how to ride a bike. I was like, cool, I know how to ride a bike. Here's what you do. Here are the steps that you take. And now they all get to ride their bikes all day, every day. And it's like, if I was so self-focused, right? Remember in episode 1, we were talking about being so self-focused. If I was so self-focused in my doubts and my fears of like, well, I don't think I can teach you, I haven't ridden it in 10 years, then my kids would not have had that impact of being able to ride their bikes and being able to experience that joy, right? And so when you are taking a look at your passions and your proficiency and your profitability piece, right? When you come to that proficiency piece, I don't want you to get so stuck in, I'm not a level 100 expert, so I shouldn't be doing this. Proficiency is really just the gifts that you believe that you have. And if you don't feel like you have any gifts, go ask your friends and family, right? See what they say your gifts are. And then you can also ask yourself this question of, what are the topics that my friends and family are coming to me and asking me questions about? You will start to identify the gifts that you already have if you feel like you have no gifts at all. And so when we go back to this, right, making impact requires passion, something that fills you up. Proficiency, right? Something that you feel you are gifted in. And then profitability, something that you actually want to make money doing. And this profitability piece as well is very important, because we don't want you choosing to make some money from something that you actually don't want to make money doing.